Top 10 Major League Pitchers. Talk about your difficult lists to compile. There are wild differences from numerous sources as to who should be on this list. I particularly liked Bill James' method of ranking pitchers based on either a player's entire career or his peak value. Mr. James has his own method of ranking these men, others have theirs. I found familiar names in the top 5, but crazy variations from then on out. From my research, the top 2 are almost interchangeable. A lot of these men we never saw, so we have to rely on stats and baseball writers of the day. 10. Satchel Paige. Satchel Paige played for numerous Negro League and MLB teams. This list is arguably somewhat tainted because of a shameful segregation policy that kept many great black ball players out of the major leagues. There is little discussion as to who was the greatest of them all. Paige was as dominant as they come. It's impossible to list his records either because they simply don't exist or they are inaccurate. 9. Sandy Koufax. Sandy Koufax 001 played for Brooklyn/Los Angeles Dodgers. Another 3-time Cy Young winner, his career was cut short by arthritis. In each of his Cy Young seasons he won the pitcher's Triple Crown. Despite the short career, Koufax ranks 7th on the all-time strikeout list. 8. Tom Seaver. Played for New York Mets, Cincinnati Reds, Chicago White Sox, Boston Red Sox. Seaver was the NL Rookie of the Year in 1967 and a part of the '69 Miracle Mets squad who won the World Series despite being one of the worst teams in baseball from 1962 to 1968. He was a 3-time winner of the Cy Young Award and finished his career with 311 wins. 7. Greg Maddux. Example scapular loading good Greg Maddux 199x012 played for Chicago Cubs, Atlanta Braves, Los Angeles Dodgers, San Diego Padres. Maddux was the first pitcher in Major League history to win 4 Cy Young Awards for 4 consecutive years, 1992 to 95. During that time he had an impressive 75-29 record with a ridiculous 1.98 ERA. He also holds the distinction of winning at least 15 games in 17 consecutive seasons, a stunning accomplishment. 6. Cy Young. Cleveland Spiders, S.A. Louis Perfectos, Boston Red Sox, Cleveland Naps, Boston Rustlers. Yeah, the dude's name is on the award for the best pitcher each season. It's difficult to understand how anyone could possibly win 511 games, but Cy Young holds that record. Along with that remarkable number, he also holds the record for innings pitched, 73.55, most career games started, 815, and most complete games, 749. In some respects it was a different game back then. Some could make a case that these numbers are an inflated total that reflected the infancy of the game. But no one can deny that he was one of the greats. 5. Christy Mathewson. New York Giants, Cincinnati Reds. In 1905 and 1908 he won the pitcher's equivalent to the Triple Crown, leading the league in wins, ERA, and strikeouts. He was a member of the first 5 players to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame along with Ty Cobb, Babe Ruth, Walter Johnson, and Honus Wagner. He was also known for being one of the game's most beloved players. 4. Grover Cleveland Pete Alexander. Philadelphia Phillies, Chicago Cubs, S.A. Louis Cardinals. Pete had an awe-inspiring 90 shutouts. He is 3rd all-time in wins with 373 with a 2.76 ERA. 3. Roger Clemens. Boston Red Sox, New York Yankees, Houston Astros, Toronto Blue Jays. In light of recent events, it's difficult for me to place the Rocket on this list. It's true he consistently appeared in plenty of top 5 lists of great pitchers, but there are always going to be question marks when it comes to his career due to alleged steroid use. Steroids or not, he was the most dominant pitcher of the day who ended his career with 354 wins and a 3.17 ERA. 2. Walter Johnson. Washington Senators. There are plenty of reputable sources that have Johnson in the top 5, if not in the top 2. Ty Cobb said he was the most threatening sight he ever saw on a ball field. Because precision instruments were lacking at the time, it's hard to say how hard he threw, but most agree it closed in on 100 miles per hour. He had 417 wins with a sizzling 2.17 ERA. His strikeout record of 3,509 was broken by Nolan Ryan in 1983. 1. Lefty Grove. Left played for Philadelphia Athletics/Boston Red Sox. Bill James comes right out and says Lefty Grove is the greatest pitcher of all time. Other sites and sources have him regularly in the top 5. Grove won 300 games even though he didn't break into the majors until age 25. He led the league in ERA 9 times. That is a ridiculous statistic. The next closest, Roger Clemens, has done that 7 times. He finished his career with a .680 winning percentage with 300 wins. Notable omissions: Warren Spahn, Bob Gibson, Bob Feller, Carl Hubbell, Steve Carlton, Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, Juan Miracle, Whitey Ford, Gaylord Perry. That's all for today's video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.